What is up, Workbringer here, and today I'm bringing you a Halls of Atonement plus 14. Now, this group, again, pretty high IO. Pretty high IO. And I walk into this group and I'm like, oh, so who's Venthyr? And they're like, no one. I was like, okay, that's fine, I guess. Just don't pull any of the Loyal Stoneborns, right? Don't pull any of the gargoyles, because, you know, every tank in the world, I imagine, who does these keys does not include Loyals as part of the count, because most of the times when you're pushing a key like this, or just ever in Halls of Atonement, you are going to pull the Loyal Stoneborns in and someone's going to Venthyr them, right? So they do extra DPS and it makes the trash and some of the bosses much, much faster. And if there is no Venthyr, then you don't pull them at all, right? They're like, yeah, cool. And I'm like, okay, good. So that's fine. It makes the route kind of awkward because you have to like skirt around them. There's 2 or 3 places you have to be pretty careful about your positioning. But it's a high IO group, and I'm like, what could go wrong? What could go wrong? Okay, so we do this double pull fine. The spites, no one's died yet. And over here, and literally the mage pulls the Stoneborn. The first one. And I must say, the easiest one to skip if you're trying to just, you know, not body pull it. So immediately, our top DPS mage pulls a Stoneborn. And so I'm like, okay, so already the route is pretty busted, right? I don't have this Loyal Stoneborn as part of my count. I face his frontal towards the raid because, you know, I never pull these. They never... In all my runs, I never pull this thing, right? So it's like, I'm not even used to fighting it. I don't even know what this thing does. I guess it does a frontal. You gotta be careful of G's. And, yeah. So already the route is ruined, in my point of view, but it's a 14. It's a high-level group. I need the IO, so I start doing some math. And I say to the old workman in the head, I'm like, what are we gonna do here? What are we gonna do? So I decide, with this Loyal Stoneborn added to the count, which I don't want, I'm not gonna pull the groundskeepers over there, right? That's normally part of the deal. And I'm also, because we have some decent DPS, I'm gonna go get the 2 front people right there. We're gonna take this Obliterator. I don't have a Judgment, so I'm just gonna give him the shield. That's fine. That one's gonna sit over there, but I have another shield proc, luckily. So we're gonna round these all up together and make what hopefully is Pride right here. It may not have been. I don't know. You'll see what else happens. But I'm like, let's just do these together. So it looks like something is out. I'm gonna hodge this. That's good. I lost threat to something for a second. I don't know if like someone popped out some sort of taunt pet, but I don't know. Or maybe I just legit just lost aggro. It's possible to like some of the combust. And check this mage out again. Ready? The mage again pulls in 3 extra groundkeepers. Now low-key, we might have needed those groundkeepers, to be honest, to get counts, because I normally do pull them in, but we had a Stoneborn, so I'm just winging the count now. I mean, I roughly have a framework of how I normally do this, so we might have needed... No, we're way over. We are over. We probably needed actually maybe 1 of those groundskeepers, because we're gonna get 19 from the other from all the other trash we pulled. So we actually needed at least 1 of those, so it's not so bad. But that mage has now already body pulled something twice. In the first like minute of this run, they've pulled this a Loyal when we literally talked about it like probably 10 seconds before this run. I was like, don't pull any of the Loyals, right? It's like obvious. Pulls it, and then also body pulls the Gargons, or not the Gargons, the Groundskeepers. We actually needed like 1 or 2 of them, so that was actually fine. But it would have been better for me to pull them. But actually his mistake both hurt us, but then helped us for time. So, the issue that I'm worried about now, like I'm not worried about dying to this Pride. Either this healer can do it or they can't. I'm keeping myself up. I'm also doing what I can to help him mostly. It is a very harmless run back, right? Wiping to trash here, first of all, is like ridiculous. It should never happen. But if it does, not a huge deal. So that was a big floppy pull. I lost aggro to somebody there. But I didn't have an Avenger shield, didn't have anything, and we had Pride, so I just got to get in there. Which is even sketchier because everyone else is pumping super hard, but, you know. Gotta do what you gotta do. Probably should have been looking ahead of time to save Avenger shield, or at least something. Save something for this pack here on the initial pull, but it is just 2. And the Shard of Halkias is like a Pride, basically. When he does Thrash, if people aren't distance playing him, like getting really far away, it's a lot of damage to like everybody. So we're cleaning this up, and what I'm worried about now is that we are like probably like 1 or 2, maybe I'd say 2 to 3% off on count, and that can be an issue later on because it's pretty precise when you go up. You know, you typically are going to go up around, I think, 78%, something like that, and then you pull one of the gargoyles, and I'm going to pull these in too. And then you get Pride on Echelon, which is, you know, appreciated. You really don't need it on a Fortified, but it helps. You don't want, like, you basically don't want 3 phases of ads on Fortified. On Tyrannical, get ready for, like, 4 phases of ads. But, you know, here we really don't want that. So, I'm doing some math here. Again, there's nothing to really think about here. Either the group kicks everything or they don't. And the healer has an easy time or a hard time. The spites, people are doing pretty well here. No one's died to a spite. That is a terrible feeling when you're running with a DK or a warrior who's kind of just mongoing their way through dungeons. Maybe they're coming from raids and they start fighting their own shades because they're just not... They might be high IO, but you would be surprised how many melee try to kill their own shade and die on like a 14. It's incredible. I'm like, oh, this guy's like 1200 IO, cleared like, you know, 6 of 10 mythic raid, and then fights their own shade and dies like multiple times. He's like, oh, got me this time. Time to get him next time. It's like, no. You run from the shade. You CC it. What are you doing? So it is a relatively good sign that no one has died to their own shade. However, body pulling aplenty, and the body pulling clown car train is not over. It's not over by a long shot. So again, remember the premise of this video and this whole run is there's no Venthyr. So don't pull any of the Loyal Stoneborns. That's the whole premise of how you run Halls of Atonement without one. From a tank perspective, I know for the Fire Mage, they're like, I do boom boom, right? Combust is up, boom boom. Like that's probably all they think about. Fire Mages only want one thing, it's PI and Combustion. I guess those are 2 things, so they want the combo. Anyway, we're going to pull these together, and this should still be Pride. This is my normal Pride timing. And you'll see if we needed like an extra mob, which we won't. There's a patrol, and there's some pretty controlled groups, again, for when things go sideways like this. What I will say is the group is very good at priority focus targeting down the Houndsmaster. So I didn't even have to Hodge that one. However, I'm sitting right on these, right on them. Actually, I don't have Hodge. I only got it back now. So that would have gone off, but I do have an immunity in case I need to face tank the bears through Pride or something like that. So we have, you know, we've stabilized. This is still going to give me Pride. It doesn't look like it's perfect Pride, like maybe 1 Gargoyle's up. I do spam my macro that says kill these evenly, and they do. So this is a good group. You know, this is good to be able to do that. I don't have a Hodge for the spites, but they can just run back upstairs, right? Not a huge deal. They freeze them. I probably break them out of the freeze with my shield, but they got to die anyway. You see I'm just kind of backing away, and I'm like, I have to keep Shield of the Righteous up, and I have Bulwark, so... It makes my Shield of the Righteous do a huge fire frontal that goes really far, so there's no way of controlling that. Let's see here. Yeah, so we're getting this Pride down, and we're going to go into a rather big trash pull. The trash pull is normally trivialized, even on Fortified, by the fact that we can pull the Loyal. Right? There's a Loyal Stoneborn right there. So I need that patrol, but he'll come back. Right, so we're going to get him, and you see how I carefully pull to the side here? Someone pulls the Loyal Stoneborn in. So this pull just went from being like what's normally very easy with Pride. Okay, so someone popped some sort of taunt pet. Is it, whose is that? Is that the mages, or is that Earth? I can't tell whose that is. That might be the shamans or something like that. I don't know that much about shamans. I get destroyed by shamans in PvP. I really need to roll one and learn. But anyway, It's the second Loyal Stoneborn that we didn't want. I don't want this. Now where I'm like, now my count is like absolutely garbage. Like, it's unrecoverable. The run can be timed. However, we will now not get pride when we need to. So, another Gargon. Two of two that I wanted to skip have been pulled. And all you have to do is stay a little bit to the left, and yeah. So you would think with the Loyal gone now, people would stay in that little grassy purple grass area, right? Because that's nice and safe. That's where you stand. Range DPS, if you're watching this, that's where you stand. Go stand in the blue area. I know if you don't kick curse, see if you kick see there's not enough melee. If you kick the curse, you don't have to spread, but whatever. Right? Lots of casts going out because again, I'm the only one with kicks here. And I guess I'm not using them apparently. Gotta get out of this. So we've pulled 2 out of 2 Loyal Stoneborns that we didn't want because no Venthyr. And we also pulled some extra, what I would say are the groundskeepers. However, one of them did help out. But we're now furiously overcount here. We're not supposed to get pride here. And it's okay. We just need to get through this shard, and the timing just is what it is. And I actually have some flexibility. And look at that fire mage. Or whoever that was over there. Pulled in an extra pack. So what are we up to? Like 1,000 body pulls? I'm like, do you want to just mount and like pull the whole dungeon? Is that the idea? The whole reason I go this way is so that people don't body pull all these extra packs down there. And it's not working in this. So all my, I mean, if you've watched any of my other halls runs as I've been working up to 15s, 15s is all I really care about. I just want to 15 everything. I don't really care massively about the higher keys. I'll probably do some, but you know, my goal is to just 15 all of them. Then I feel like I understand what prop pal tanking is about. And if you're pushing higher than that, you know, that's for fun, but it's like extracurricular. Whereas I think doing 15s of all of them is pretty much, you know, I think it's the goal of a Mythic Plus tank, right? 15 them all. Then you could re-roll a healer or something fun like that. Or I could go H-Pal and see if I can 15 all of those too. That's kind of where my mind's at. You know, I'm also 10-10 heroic. I'll probably do some of the mythics, but I really doubt I'm gonna do Sire Mythic, and I don't have a guild for it. I don't massively care. You know, heroic Sire was tough enough. I feel like I understand the encounter enough to talk about it from a tanking point of view, and that's really all I care about. So we have pride for this pack, which is, you know, low key in a fortified. Having pride for this pack isn't so bad. You know, it's not so bad. I will say it's not what we planned on. I shared my route. It's not what I wanted. It's not what I had instructed, right? I'm not trying to like prescribe like, you know, looks like who got that hodge? The H-Pal? Thank you. I'm not like do this or nothing, but you know, generally for a 14, I even do voice comms now in my Discord for 14s. And I'm just like, you know, that was the plan. It's out the window. But getting pride for this pack is pretty spicy. Would take a long time without it, I guess. So it's worked out, right? And that's the whole point of not the whole point, but that's kind of the theme of this run is that like the plan goes out the window, but some certain things actually work out fine by accident, by pure accident. I'm having like low faith in timing this. Just because of how poorly the trash has gone. Like really, it's been a clown car show disaster. Watch this. I do not trust this group. Yeah, so see that? I don't trust this group to run all the way in. I put this square on me and I tell them beforehand because they're all real squishy. I'm like, don't stand anywhere near me. I was like, if this blue, I told them in the beginning of the dungeon, I was on Halkias, don't stand near me. Like, and I mark myself. I try to stack the slams, it doesn't work. This is actually a pretty scuffed tanking of this boss, in my opinion. But it does work out in the end. It's we didn't clear the Loyal, so I can't move as far back as I normally do. There's a Loyal right to my left, and we play it pretty close. Again, normally we pull the Loyal in, and it eats that trash. Oh, that's why that trash pack is normally not so bad. It's because normally we have a Loyal Stoneborn to help just kind of cleave it down. Anyway, we're going to get through the first phase here. We don't have Lust, so, you know, to be honest, with this DPS, I'm not Lust. Had we had, what's it called? Had we had Pride like we're supposed to for this, he'd probably be dead already, right? With this, you know, a Shadow Priest and Fire Mage, they are single target monsters. I mean, and also AoE monsters as far as a Fire Mage goes. But Fire Mage Shadow Priest will make short work of this. So look how close we are to this Loyal. Normally that Loyal is gone, and I can pull even further back, because right now I don't have a clear path for them. But the damage from the glass isn't so bad. It's the slowing. Someone just ate that, but they must have used an immunity or something like that. Oh no, it's an elemental. Never mind. I thought someone just ate the beam. I was like, wow, okay. But we do get it down, and what I will say from this, I feel like this is a raid group, and I mean the IO is high, and some they're all, I think they're all like pretty rated out, like at least 10-10 heroic, like minimum. What I will say is that although the trash has been a clown car show, and I'm really afraid of upstairs because there's a, you know, I don't want to pull the whole courtyard. Can we not? Because we really just want, we just want pride for Echelon and for Halkias, just to make our lives easier. Like, I don't care really. I'm just trying to time this, and you know, my route is for timing. It's for getting pride at the right time. I just want pride on Halkias. So again, we're off count here. However, there is flexibility upstairs by one patrolling gargoyle. I forget the name of it, and you'll see I've done this before, and it's kind of okay. They freeze it, and I'm like, okay, looks like that's gonna work out. They're kind of coming, but they'll be dead. So they run ahead. Scary with this group running ahead. I'm like, yeah. Anyway, we'll pull these in, and for time, which I'm worried about, I'm like, we'll take these two. It's not that spicy, but you know, it's like you have to watch the frontal from this Reaver. Yeah, see, the priest got hit, right? They should be playing back by the stairs. I do get that interrupt. I'm losing aggro to a pet, right? There's no way I lose. I can't tell. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, there's an elemental out. But you never know with Fire Mage Combust if it's like I'm losing it to the group or not. It's hard to see that elemental. There he is. But yeah, he's taunting everything, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm just concerned, but I can't see the elemental. All I see is the Reaver, but I see his little hand now in retrospect. But while I was playing this, I remember being like, I was like, what am I losing aggro to? Like, what? Even there, I thought that he was attacking someone at the party, like the shaman or something, but it was an elemental, so not too bad. So we get these down, and the phasing of the gargoyles isn't good right now. So I marked this Stoneborn Slasher, and someone mines through this. That's me typing and messing it up. And I'm looking at count, and we have 78, which is perfect. And what's going to happen is now we can actually look at all those mind soothes. That's OP. Okay, priest. I've never seen those all mind soothed, but what we can do is just run up and take this one, and this will put us right back on track. So that's the recovery of this route. I mean, from maybe a DPS perspective, you're like, what's the big deal? Look at this, LOS, boom, nothing. But it's just not the plan, right? I can adjust, but I'd rather not think, right? What I want as a tank is to go in with a route, with a plan, and do it faster and faster, with no mistakes, with less damage, right? I don't really want to have to like make up a new route on the fly, because then I'm thinking about count, I'm thinking about the new route, versus just doing the route that I normally do and doing it better and better. And that's how I've gotten this far so far, is by taking a route, either doing it or not doing it, right? And then this one is just scuffed. It just doesn't count. Like this isn't a run for the books for me. It's for IO, so I'm going to do a 15 next, hopefully. But it's not what I wanted, you know? And that's all. So my nameplate's a little confusing there, but I do pick the correct one to pull out. And we've recovered this run. The rest is as you'd expect, except for the next pull, actually. I'm not sure what happens there, but the group does help me live it. And I do have Bubble still. I don't know if I use Bubble on Echelon. And I do have my Cheat Death Trinket, which you'll see here. I believe the video before this was me explaining the Cheat Death Trinket a little bit more in Spires of Ascension 14, which I did on the same day here. So I do have the Cheat Death Trinket, and that's, again, you saw me proc it on the 6-pack of Lions that one-shot you. We're about to have a 3-pack of Bears that one-shot me as well. And I have been one-shot by those before, and we don't have a battle res. Unless someone's an engineer. I have engineer battle res, which you'll see if at the bottom of my center bars, which is kind of an ugly setup, but that was a scuffed little roundup there. But actually, I didn't have Divine Toll, and I'm sitting in the Sanguine. But actually, for the hierarchy tyrannicals, you actually don't want to kill them all at once because they do a ton of damage. Now, on Fortified 14, I don't think it's so bad, but if you've done a tyrannical 14, killing all these together does a huge amount of damage, so you actually want to kill them separately. And when you do this turn to stone smash on them to like permanently kill them, you actually want to stagger it. So we've kind of done that here just by nature. We're only going to do those ones, right? I think if you do all of them at once or something like that, it's bad. I've only heard of it. I've only heard of that. So I'm going to have Divine Toll on this one. So we'll do a pretty big roundup. And the mage is helping with the stun. However, someone cap totems them, so they stop casting, which is good for damage. But we don't get a full roundup. So we actually have a couple in the back, but it's fine, right? We actually do want to stagger the kill, and it's okay to stagger the circles, right? So we're just going to get those ones. How many are they going to get? That's a good amount, right? And so there's going to be another turn to stone phase before the other calling. And Echelon will be dead by then, so that's fine. For Tyrannical, this would have been a little bit spicy, but we do get it rather quick. So what this group lacks in not body pulling trash, they make up for pretty easily with killing the bosses quite decisively. So I body pull that one, and I repentance that one back there. I don't know who pulls it. Is it me? But I'm trying to leave that Houndmaster. Someone pulls that Houndmaster out of repentance. I don't know. I mean, in a sense, it's a priority kill, but if you leave one of them back there, it can be a little bit easier. But we pull them all. So I've already Divine Shielded. I don't know when that happened. I wasn't watching here. But what I have is my Cheat Death Trinket still. So I'm not massively worried. This is also technically a Cheat Death Trinket. Or ability, actually Ardens. And you can keep Ardens up if you take the Conduit. I think it's a Conduit. Okay, there's an Elemental. That's very helpful. Oh yes, that's what it is. So I would say despite all the body pulling, the correct elemental use, which I'm assuming that's the Shaman at this point. I think that's the Shaman's elemental. That elemental does smooth this out. And again, if we were on voice comms, I probably wouldn't have tried to CC one of those Houndmasters. We would have just face tanked the whole thing. And oh yeah, the Fear from the Priest, really good, really great. So that Fear and I should probably run Shining Light in here, to be honest, but because you can actually disorient these, but the disorient is so short because everyone has dots on them. Doesn't work out. But between the elemental from the Shaman, I believe, and the Mass Fear from the Priest, that went pretty smooth. Not bad. So everyone is coming here, and there's actually shades in the other room, so I decided to just take it here. It's not the best, but, you know, I Divine Toll Silence, and we bait the circles over there. And now it's just a free-for-all. I'm looking for the Collector. I think I mark her. Yeah. If we were to kill one, it would be her, right? She just spawns more ads. That's what we don't want. Curse of Obliteration, you don't want that either, but it doesn't wipe you. Despite it being fortified, the curse damage is not the worst. And so, very, very good job of cleaning this up. Maybe my route's too particular. I don't know. I don't trust this group at all. So I put the marker down. There have been body pulls, and it really we just don't want to pull these Stoneborns, whereas normally you would, obviously. So I go in and do this, and I go to the circle, and I jump up and down. I jump up and down, because people might be running from the spites, and it basically means walk in the middle. I think there's some Chinese players here, too, from the chat that I saw. The macros are coming out, some of them in Mandarin or Cantonese or whatever. And yeah, so good. No one pulled that, but I didn't trust the group, so I dropped the marker. Okay. I didn't realize volcanic happens on bosses. It's really not a mechanic I ever deal with, unless we're all stacking or something like that, which is kind of why I'm not doing to other side this week. I can tank a 14 or 15 of the other side. There's no question. It's really how much pain I want to deal with going with a group. I'm like, can this group handle, like, you know, the Arden Wield section with a million spites and a lot of volcanoes? And I'm like, I don't feel like doing that this week. Haunting Fixation on me. I just always tank this at the column. On a tyrannical week, you actually want to tank it in the middle and then pick the closest one. And then the damage is a little bit higher, so every like second that ghost is out is pretty bad damage. But on a fortified, just tank it at a column, and you don't have to think about it, right? Or the urn or whatever. So, is this urn gonna go away? No, I guess it hasn't. Oh no, it did. I think I'm tanking it in the wrong place, but whatever. We're gonna get a anima pool thing anyway. So I'm gonna tank her here. Oh yeah, here comes Anima Fountain. So we might have to move and come back, but just to not have to think about it, just tank it if, you know, unless it's like super high key Tyrannicals, you just tank it right at the available one. And again, look, it's on me. In this case, it's the only one left, so that's all we're gonna be able to do. But small brain, just go stand by one of the urns every time. Easy. I do type right now. You might see a dead spot where I'm not pushing any buttons. It's probably right now. I say kill the back of the room first, right? And to my surprise, they Omega do. They really do. Which is great. I don't know if they trust me or whatever, or like I don't know. But anyway, I'm like, kill these back ones first. And thank goodness my plater hasn't bugged out. Sometimes plater bugs out and I don't see the nameplates. It's happened a couple times in here. I think I showed that one of my other ones. Yo, I cannot get aggro on this guy the whole time. I don't know what's happening, but he's just free casting Wicked Bolts on people. It's not that much damage, but we do decisively pretty... It's the Fire Mage, so the Fire Mage has redeemed themselves from body pulling everything. He apologizes at the end as well. That is one of the fastest cleanups of that back room, and it's a fortified too, so, you know, it's pretty tough. I don't know, you have to... It's decently tough to kill those all down that quickly, and that Fire Mage and everyone, I guess it's the Fire Mage and the Shadow Priest, like, decisively melted that. And they actually, I don't know if he's combusting, but he destroys, these are going down fast. I don't know, this is one of the fastest I've ever seen that room cleaned up. I need to get this guy back down here. I cannot get him, there he is, okay, now he's coming back. There's one Tormented Soul, I'm like, oh no. So that is one of the fastest cleanups I've seen, so... Despite pulling the Gargons, which is the Stoneborns, and body pulling 2 packs, which we actually needed to pull one of them, it's actually a very, very optimized finish. We very decisively kill Echelon. We have an Elemental to help tank the Gargons, and that was one of the fastest cleanups I've seen of that room ever. It's for efficiency here that we don't have to move anymore. There's varying opinions about moving a mob like this because the caster people might get LOS and they have to move, which is a loss of DPS, but it's my decision that it takes a long time to kill him, so let's just get in position to kill him and then we don't move for pride, right? That's my main one. I want 100%, or let's say 95% uptime from pride on the last boss, because honestly the timer is getting a tiny bit tight. We do have this spite. I've got a Hodge for it. Yeah, triple Hodge and Fear. Everyone knows what to do to that. CC it, kill it. Yeah, we shouldn't have all Hodged at the same time, but the sentiment was there to Omega destroy that. So that's, again, a very good sign from the group that, yes, there's a spite. And pride, obviously kill it. Obviously CC it and cleave it down. So I know that's like not a huge brain move, but it's important. And, yeah, it's something you expect, honestly, on the 15s and the 14s and etc. So there's pride gonna run out. Let's see how long it takes me to get to him. 55. Not bad. Not bad. So that's 5 seconds. I could have pulled pride into the courtyard. I think that's awkward though, to be honest. So I'm pulling him forward here like this so I can see all 4 statues. There it is. That's not hitting me, right? It's close. It's legit close. And now I have to kind of reposition so that statue is not between me and the boss, right? So little things, that's also not going to hit me. Just wanted to reposition though. Getting hit by it is kind of bad, not for damage to be honest, especially on a fortified. It's mostly that I get repositioned and get knocked off, so he comes off the center and it's just like, we don't have any melee, so it's not that big an issue, but again, I don't want to get knocked by those. So I do type during pride. I tell everyone to stand at a column, right? I don't want to do anything fancy. I know how to do the double soak. I'm not double soaking. No one's double soaking. Everyone's stand at a column, right? This is fortified. Ritual of Woe doesn't hurt that much. On Tyrannical, Ritual of Woe is like really hard. So I'll take 2 usually on Tyrannical and I'll pop a cooldown for it because otherwise the other people die. But on a fortified, it's nothing. And we are decisively shredding this boss. Pride's already gone. Looks like we lusted too. And feels good. Man, look at my low DPS, man. Dang. I'm not conduited for damage at the moment. I'm conduited for, honestly, PvP. But on a fortified 14, it doesn't matter. It's survival. So there it is, big smash, big finish. That's my first time to 14. Hooray! I'm gonna 14 all of them before I do any 15s. I could definitely 15 miss. I can definitely 15 spire. I can definitely 15 place this place. The other ones is questionable, but I'm gonna 14 all of them. That's just how I want to roll. Clean, get all 14s, and then I'll do my first 15. I don't know why. That's why I want to look at these. You see that gear over there? That's my PvP gear. Okay. I will see you on the next video. Have a good one.